Over 26. This is
the
This is the Brunch Club.
Over 26. Welcome back to
The mics are closed.
Now, when you watch it, you'll understand.
What up? My name is not Chaxy, the mastermind, your main guy, absolutely not the Lord. The beautiful Mariah is on the couch. The amazing Mwass is around, and of course, the most annoying Saddam is also around.
Toxic.
Episode 275, we are.
My chick.
Again, guys. We are. Let's go.
I thought you were doing
Saddam.
a take two on your own.
Why?
So I again, I was like,
Because where's the energy? Where's the energy? Energy.
radio. I saw someone tweet at M-Pesa balance yangu inaka frequency ya radio.
Well, watu wa summer tights pekee ndio wana relate. Si wengine tuko sawa.
M-Pesa balance 103.
Energy. But yes, Saddam, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Good to be back. Leo, ukiona mtu amecheka, there is no faking it. Chaxy is not here. If you're funny, you're funny.
Speaking of the fact that Chaxy is not around, I think we all need to have theories of where do we think Chaxy is. Saddam, you want to go first?
Yes.
Bet, let's
2:01
go.
p.m. on Tuesday. I think he's in the fridge looking for like water to try and rehydrate. Because I don't think I'm Melala.
Okay.
And I think he has
True.
a terrible headache.
Okay.
And I think he's thinking about it. He has like 2 tattoos that he might decide on.
He will miss his flight.
Aye. Well,
Just get
okay.
the detail right. Huh?
You could be right. Mwass?
Yeah, I think he's in hospital.
Damn,
Because
that's dark.
not to visit.
Okay.
Because you have to be there to witness the birth of your... Yeah. Control X.
Maybe see you gay. But yes, Chaxy shall be back when he shall be back.
But he's about to be a father.
Was about.
Was.
Oh.
Fetus, deletus. Chew.
Even then,
Kuna Maria stop
Ameenda kustop Marie.
yeah.
They have a branch area.
Unajua Charisma has married you twice.
Oh my gosh.
Chaxy
He
has
doesn't want
married
Marie. Yes,
I gonna marry you slice.
Maria's life is crazy. Oh my days.
Okay, you know what? I'll give you. I'll give you that one. But you know, before the cameras were rolling, we were talking about living together as friends. Do you guys think that's a bad idea or is it actually doable?
Me, as long as you don't judge my alone moment. Mi nikitoka tu kwa bedroom na ngodha. Naenda kukojoa, nikunywe maji, nisimame kwa balcony.
I hope you see this Saddam and I looking at you. Tumeona utoke tu na ngodha.
You don't walk in your house in your most comfortable clothes.
When I'm alone, yes.
Isn't that what you want to do that in your house? Because I eat a lot of protein. I fat a lot. So mimi nashuta kila pahali. If kama you're comfortable with that, it's you.
Why not just fart in the bathroom?
Why?
Excuse me.
Nitoke kwa couch.
What? If someone's there, and guys, we said living with friends, not living alone.
But see, the thing is, I wouldn't want to live with friends because
of
maybe
that.
they might find that uncomfortable.
So for you, it's a bad
maybe
idea.
instead of walking, sijui nitoke hapa niende kwa bathroom, I just want to shift.
So for you, it's a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think personally I would survive because also I like a lot of solitude. I just like silence.
But Saddam, you're married, so how?
Oh, it's perfect. We have our own silent rooms. Mimi niko hapa, yako huko.
Damn.
And then every couple of hours, you check up on each other.
Couple of hours.
Maybe one or
under
two.
the same roof. Okay.
Yeah.
So mostly for you said it's okay, but they should just allow you to walk in
my
your
theory
undies.
is people have different level of hygiene and cleanliness
Facts.
and neatness. Na mimi, always I will be at the bottom. Not in a bad way. Like,
Oh, of course, in a
I'll
bad
drink-
way. Oh, I am the most unhygienic, but in a good way.
Good way.
Shut up.
That doesn't even make any sense.
I'll have a cup of coffee,
But-
and then I'm not sure I'll have another cup, so I'll put the cup there. And then there'll be Mariah who will want you to throw it in the dishwasher, sijui panguza, rudisha kwa cupboard.
Absolutely, because if you're not sure, just let the house stay clean. When you're sure you want to have another one, you can go pick the same mug when it's clean, have your coffee.
I'd live with people if kila mtu akona kitchen yake.
Or be a man. Drink water, drink the milk, And then tea on the table.
Kutane chini.
Be a man.
Ukisikia ku have coffee unafanya. And you just take the whole sachet.
You guys are silly.
Yeah.
You are so silly. I can't. So for you, it's doable.
It's doable if it's needed. I wouldn't do it for fun. I wouldn't be at like, let me leave the comfort of being alone and you leave yours, alafu let's be uncomfortable together. Yeah.
Okay.
But if we need to, kama rent yenye iko huko, kuja. We'll make it work.
Would you, for example, right now, get like, would you and Chaxy be able to live in the same household?
It was a discussion actually. We found like a really nice house. But I think, I don't know. Solitude, like you said, is very important.
True.
Yeah. Unless we live in shifts. Monday to Wednesday.
You occupy the weekend. That is crazy. But I mean, it's doable.
Yeah.
It's
or
doable.
at least one person anatokanga kwa nyumba.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that person is not... Me, I'll work from home because...
Oh,
What about you,
Christ.
Mariah, though?
Honestly, no. I really just love my own space. Like, just waking up and knowing if this mess is mine, this mess is mine. I'm the one who has to clean it. Niliwacheki kombe hapa na juani. You understand? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like running after people, especially grown people, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Or sijui the toilet, sijui you pissed on the floor. Bro.
If I had to choose between living with either Mariah or Chaxy, definitely Chaxy. When I'm strict.
No, because not really strict. For me, it's just like we're grown. If you use a cup, just clean it. That doesn't need to be a discussion.
Okay.
Trash imeja. Don't put your trash on the side. Just go through the trash, put another paper, life continues.
Yeah.
You understand? Some things are simple.
You should see my kitchen. Trash imeja. Alafu there's another trash bag that's on the floor.
You see what I'm talking
Start
about?
afresh. Alafu I'm like, the cleaning lady will come tomorrow, so at a sort.
That's a different conversation. But imagine the sense that it's just you, it's just me and you in this house. We depend on each other to make this system work.
Okay.
You understand?
But I feel like he might adjust to that. Maybe right now it's a ngumu, but maybe...
And then all the tabia mbaya zitakuwa tu za kitanda.
So that's your biggest issue.
Nani amesema? You're putting words in my mouth. Yani hatuwezi anza ku make out kwa couch twende hivyo.
You can, but make out as you go to your bed.
I think for
The
me,
foreplay is the walk to the room. Please.
like cardio.
Tough. Yeah, you're saying something.
for me, I think especially for like grown-ass men, it's a little bit off. Nikama, I rather we have a house where there are common rooms, but literally we also have our own houses on the separate. Because I'm assuming living with someone and I'm getting action every single day. To some extent.
And the other person is moassing.
Yeah.
So that's one. Then as far as hygiene is concerned, I feel like different people have different levels of hygiene.
True.
And there are things I don't mind doing. Like, I don't mind... I don't like washing dishes. So I'll not be the person to suggest we cook because I don't want to do dishes. But if you cook and you offer me food, I will eat. Just don't expect me to clean the dishes because... but there are things like cleaning surfaces and organize. Like I'm the kind of person who knows how to organize chaos.
Okay.
But please, usininvolve kwa mambo ya kuosha
kitchen, I
vyombo.
hear
Hiyo,
you.
ndakula. Wewe ukipika nitakula. Nitachangia tununue. Lakini kuosha vyombo.
Count me out. I mean,
also the underwear part. Like, I can't imagine nimeamka asubuhi, I'm planning my day, and I just see Mwass walking with an underwear.
that would what I mean.
That would
That's
genuinely
trauma.
ruin my day. I'll go back and then I'm not in lale.
Unachipea off. Michael, let's
Yeah,
meet
I'm not
tomorrow.
coming today. Yeah, I've seen enough for the day. It's been real. Goodness me. Speaking of, it's been real. Didi,
Yeah.
the verdict. Have you?
I've caught up some snippets, but maybe
Okay.
catch me up.
Okay, so for those guys who don't know, so Didi was acquitted of 2 counts of sex trafficking by force and fraud or coercion. And actually, from what I learned, is that these actually, you can get 15 years in prison for that. But he's only been found guilty on prostitution-related accounts.
Transporting, apparently. Just the transporting part.
Yes.
Transporting the sex workers.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was doing a little bit of research on how the American system works with prostitution cases. And I was actually very surprised because it's like there's levels to it. And I'm like, that's new. But so Here's a detailed breakdown, kidogo. So there's simple prostitution and solicitation. So there's the first offense where you just get probably a misdemeanor, penalties ranging from fines to jail time. Then there is subsequent offenses. This is where they increase with each conviction. For example, in California, a second offense may require a minimum jail sentence of 45 days and a third of 90 days. Then there's parable offense. This is where you get penalties escalating to each subsequent conviction. Then there's aggravating factors. So this is engaging prostitution while in a vehicle or near a residence. This can lead to like license suspension and stuff like that. Then there's more serious offenses. This is pimping and pandering. So these charges are related to facilitating prostitution. They carry more penalties like potential prison sentences. Then there's sex trafficking. This involves the coercion or forced participation in prostitution that carries the most severe penalties, including decades in prison. Then there's the Mann Act. So this is the federal law. And this act prohibits transporting someone across state lines for prostitution or sexual exploitation with penalties of up to 10 years in prison. So then, of course, there's now factors, how severe is the offense, the age of the victim, but the fact that Diddy is working with slap on the wrist charges for me is just like, I can't believe it.
How much time is he looking at potentially?
So now, again, like I said, it depends on, because I just said prostitution on related accounts. So I need to, that's why I said there's levels. So I don't know what level.
The one I saw was, you see the one that you mentioned, you're transporting up to 10 years.
So he might actually he might face jail time.
That's the one that I think, but then again, that's the smallest compared to what the other things that he was actually accused of, the other charges.
Yeah.
So like it was like a win, basically.
Yeah, it is.
But I think there is more cases though. Like there's so many still coming up. So
is he still in custody?
Yeah, he was denied bail.
He's still denied bail. Yeah.
But I've been seeing a very, I don't want to say weird, but it's a conversation that we can't deny about the justice system in America, and especially towards Black and colored women, where whenever there's especially such cases about sexual abuse or GBV. They constantly get injustice. Either the cases will be thrashed out, altogether, they will just never get justice. And someone was using Bill Cosby and Jeffrey Epstein cases as a point of reference because it's a Black man and a white man. So in Bill Cosby's case, he's a Black man, but most of his victims were white women, hence why his case kind of stuck. And guys also using Jeffrey Epstein, in as much as, yes, he is a white man, but also his victims, many were white women, hence why his case stuck. And guys are asking, Diddy is a Black man, and Saba, maybe most of his victims were not white women, but why can't this case stick in terms of him being, charged for sexual assault and other cases in between?
But I feel like I think it comes down to how they prosecute it. I think the prosecution team is on who should do a good job.
Okay.
Because I feel like most things, because there's so many Black artists who have been in jail, like R. Kelly.
True, but in this case, Cassie's case, there was even video evidence and it was still thrown out.
No, but I think the things that he's been acquitted of are not the one, it's not the sexual assault on her. The things he's been acquitted of is sex trafficking.
Yes. No, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion.
Yeah. But there's still cases of sexual assault and like the actual things are not involving the trafficking. I think the one that he won was, there's so many stories whereby they're saying he was
about the free cops, basically.
The free cops is what he's almost being. But then again, there's so many other individual ones which probably would
we'll come to later stages. But okay, I guess we'll have to wait and see through that. But also now the bigger question is just about society, how many at times cases about GBV and abuse are just not taken as seriously as they should. Even let's even leave the Diddy case, coming down to Kenya. The last few protests that we've had, we've seen a spike in sexual assault cases. And still, no cases, no arrests, no nothing. And that leaves everybody wondering, how safe are women in society when it comes to such cases?
Because it comes down to the way things are happening, it's how important is the victim deemed in society, then that depends on how much pressure will apply.
Yeah, I think that's usually what most people, like unfortunately, which is very sad to be honest, people usually try and see the status of the person affected kind of determines like how
much
outraged people
justice
would
should
be.
be served.
Yeah, and I think the justice system all over the world is just fucked up, to be honest. I think it's not.
Facts.
It's
Big
never because
facts.
it's depending on people. For example, the kid that was killed.
There have been so many. Which one?
The recent one, the one who was
The one that was caught on
the
camera.
one who was bitten in the cell. What's his name?
Albert Ojong.
Like for example, like ideally, this is the narrative that we want. If we didn't push, probably those guys wouldn't be convicted.
Yeah.
Right? The guys who are, and we could see how the father just all of a sudden switched up with some money. Like if people close to you can almost not pursue justice, like Sasa Sisi, we're not even late. Like, how do you expect us to be the one forefront fighting for justice, and the person who's so close to the victim is almost being lenient and like okay, you know what I mean? Like that's one example of so many.
I kind of get your point, but at the end of the day, like you said, the system justice is very fucked up. And I in as much as yes, we'd love to say that maybe he shifted sides, I think also sometimes we need to step out of our woke shoes and see things from his perspective. Because there's a high chance that this dad knows he might never get justice for his son. And he's just in one of those moments where let me get the little I can get and I'll figure the rest out.
How does that
sounds
solve,
fucked up?
How does that solve
I agree.
the future? Because I feel like if we did not push, if the public outrage wasn't there,
Nothing would have
but
happened.
the small things that we did, us people who are not related to him, shouting about it online and going on protest, resulted in something. Like at the end of the day, one, your kid is gone.
Facts.
Nothing. There's no amount of money that can bring him back.
Facts.
But the thing is, how do we make such things not happen? Is to convict people. Like, huyu amefanya hii, amekuwa responsible, he's been jailed. And we can see that, and ako jela. You know what I mean? Like, eventually, that small thing that unapatiwa, it's like a small rubber band on, so it's like a band-aid on, it's like a band-aid on like a huge wound.
Yeah.
Like, yes, maybe, I agree, maybe from our comfort zone, maybe we don't think that much money, you're paying enough.
Yeah.
It was like what, 200K?
2 M.
2 million shillings, right? Maybe that's not a lot of money to most people from our perspective.
Yeah.
But it's 2 million is stopping something that could probably
Change a lot of
things
in society.
because things start from small.
True.
Like revolutions or actual changes, it starts from something small.
Yeah.
Like, and then you build up on it, and then before you know it,
the whole thing.
we have a structure. But if we cannot stop it from the beginning, like, you know, like we want justice.
Yeah.
You know, and I think the whole idea of trying to, even in our community, I feel like my community, for example, the Somali community, the Muslim community, the way we handle like rape cases and stuff like that, it's actually ridiculously sad.
Yeah.
Because you'd find
a family is harboring somebody that is being actively looked for.
This person has raped my daughter.
Yeah.
Right? I should want this person to be jailed.
Yeah.
Like ideally, like the law.
Yeah.
But they'll bring money. They'll say like, oh, not even rape, even killing.
Yeah.
They sort it nawaze.
That's
My
bad.
waze and their waze. Sometimes they've not been selling me. My waze. They won't even come to me. They'll come to the wazes.
Oh, wow.
Because it's wazes to waze. And then they'll come up with an agreement and they'll be like, okay, fine, we'll give you maybe 500,000, maybe 1 million, maybe whatever they'll come up with.
Yeah.
They'll come and they'll be like, oh, shika hii, as an apology.
Kesi Meisha.
But the thing is, the person who's killed, the person who's murdered, he's still there.
No, there's no coming back.
And there's no one who rapes one person.
True.
There's no, like, if you've raped one person, there's a very good chance you'll
do the next and the next. Yeah.
Especially knowing that you can get away with it.
Especially if you know there's a price. And it's this type of people.
So yeah, we had a little bit of a problem, but we're back. And Saddam, you were telling us about your community and, you know.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I think that's the whole justice system is flawed everywhere. Even in my community was a good example of how people can just use money to buy justice, which is kind of sad.
I totally agree. But of course, we have to talk about the main event, which was yesterday, but I think we should start from what happened. What? Majanan?
Ukitoke tu on set.
Well, yes. I think it's only right that we backtrack from Sunday. So, hey, before we even get there, this is just a PSA. If you are over the age of 25, na unaenda summer tides, jiangalie. Hey! Jiangalie. If you are not waiting to get a degree in any university, college, campus, whatever.
Na kama unafanya masters.
Unaenda summer tides kufanya nini?
Let's give it till 27.
What?
25, because that's when your brain has full developed.
Thank you. Your frontal lobe is...
So at least took on 2 years of use experience of your frontal lobe.
No.
That's a good point.
Saddam, no.
That's a good point.
Absolutely not.
It's like telling you always put a job back or buy a laptop. Now you buy a laptop ni employ kesho.
No, that's different.
Ujifunze kutumia.
That's different.
Okay, let's make it 1 year.
Yeah,
like 1 year using something you should be able to know.
Yeah, no, 3 months.
Hey.
After that, you have to pay for it. Subscription. Bro, 3 months, done.
You know what? Yeah.
Unataka kuwa roommates
She makes
na
points.
strict mom.
No, she makes sense. No, that makes sense. Because usually, when you're given... see, there's like
free trial period. Yeah.
Unapatiwa like 3 months. Very generous, by the way. Kinahanga 1 month. 90 days trial
It's
period.
enough. That's enough, bro. But yes.
So if you're 26 and a quarter.
After forms awaze.
Yeah, and you're going to support the government indirectly. How do you go and support government officials? Event yeah, oppressors.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
One, you're old. Two, like you have no future. Honestly.
Well, ni fala in short. But yes, so let's talk about yes. Now, guys who are leaving Diani, coming all the way back to Nairobi, this is Sunday. Next thing we wake up, we see apparently the train. They posted a whatever. What do you call it?
Like a
Notice. It's safe to call it a notice saying
They've grounded
that the train is not working. But there's some guys who are in the train, so they actually stopped the train midway kwa safari, and even worse.
So the train is working.
The train is working, Mamisha, and now everybody who's supposed to travel Sunday cannot use the train. Making matters worse, they've blocked. There's like barricades in Diani, heading all the way to Mombasa because they don't want guys to get to the train or anyway leave coast because there's this illusion of these are the numbers that are supposed to be coming to Nairobi for Saba Saba.
Okay.
On top of that, of course, now everybody's stranded, everybody's frustrated. And I don't know if it's true, but I think guys are supposed to rebook their tickets now because we're on a train, which is very unfortunate.
The mother of all ironies.
Like
the mother of all ironies. You've gone to support the government, Huko, and then the government told you to stay there. I don't want to say you deserve it, but
no, you do. You do. You absolutely
knowing
do.
how tight budgets were.
Yes. Like you've blown all your cash knowing you already planned your transport, your accommodation till they tell you have to rebook.
So
that's
by the time you're in Diani with 70 bob unajua hii when the
3.5 with no way. All that's all you have is energy, bro. All you really have is energy.
All you have is energy is crazy.
Let me tell you, every time my M-Pesa balance nakona piga screenshot na watumia.
Please do.
Be ready is not dead. Hey.
Okay. You win.
Ready is not dead, but my finances.
Yeah, I see you, but Jesus Christ. So this is Sunday's events. Now, leading up to Monday, I think that's where everyone, because I think Monday at around 3 a.m., I started to see like guys on X talking about, these barricades in town. Certain roads have already been put on, and I'm like, what's really going on?
Yeah.
So next thing, I checked the news now. This is like early morning, around 7, 8. They're talking about, no, guys are still allowed to come to CBD to work, blah, blah. But the footage behind the cameras, like, is empty. And now that's when everything now starts to get crazy because now it's like the cops are in residential areas.
Yeah.
And there's reports coming in that they're shooting in people's houses. There's video evidence. If you just scroll on your X, you'll see there's a lot. There's tweets coming from people in different areas. There's looting going on. Considering all this time, the notion has been it's the Gen Z protesters who are looting people's businesses. But Monday's events was very different. Kila mtu alikuwa nyumbani. So, yeah, I just want to know from you guys, where do you think let's just talk about the state of the nation. And at this point, where do we go from here?
I feel like we should move away from calling it a Gen Z protest. Because I think that kind of, we may isolate, because the whole country is suffering.
Yeah.
Like whether you're born in 70s, 80s, 90s, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think this is, and majority, because maybe some of us were in protest. We're not Gen Zs.
True.
Right? The guys who are, I know, that are really actively trying to protest, they're not Gen Zs. Like, but we're all affected. And them pushing the narrative that it's a Gen Z thing, I think it's a tactical thing to make it look like, once you've been isolated, it's like a divide
and
thing,
conquer
right?
thing, yeah.
So now, like, you can talk, but you cannot talk. It's a Gen Z thing. Why are you here? Because I've seen so many politicians coming up with lists. Boniface Mwangi is the one doing all this. Is he a Gen Z? He doesn't have to be a Gen Z.
Yeah, he's a fed up Kenyan.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We want you to not kill us, right? I don't be so as many Gen Z for me to like want that change, right? So it's and the way the thing was handled on Monday, Jana, and even the other week, I think that the old school ways of doing things, and things have changed. The idea that the fear, the fear cannot work with us anymore. And I feel like that's one thing they haven't fully accepted.
Yeah, the fear's been gone.
The fear, the idea that you will be tear gassed, you will be
shot
killed, you will be like we know
the tactics.
we know like if what's there to live for if there is nothing
to live for.
You know what I mean? Like we've pushed people to the limit, to the point where death doesn't really look like a bad thing.
True. I saw a tweet today, and it really it scared me for a second. And someone said, we are living in a country where right now, waking up in the morning, you don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, how are the roads when you guys were coming here?
I saw a few cops, but I figured those are just like traffic cops or whatever. But it was kind of a smooth ride.
Today was normal. Jana, I walked around Chaxy. There was roadblocks pretty much. Most of the roads are leading to town. Like they had the mall. They had closed like that whole road going to town and whatever. That's the only one that I saw. Like it was actual barriers, hella cops up until like what? Because I was trying to go home. I was in Westlands. I was trying to go home, and I needed to use the expressway, but like I usually use the mall one.
Yeah.
And they couldn't let me use it. Yeah. They're like, you have to go around, go all the way to Wayakiwe and use the one at ABC.
That's crazy.
And that was like,
get onto the expressway.
Yeah, and that was like 9 p.m.
Oh wow!
So up until 9 p.m. they had closed the roads, which is like a very. It's like they think they know who are the looters because we have goons who are looting.
True.
They know that.
Unpaid goons.
Yeah, and they are not even paid.
And I think that's the part that baffles me, because you say this is work. You've been paid to do a job. You do the job, but you've not been paid. So tomorrow you're complaining that you want dues, but you're still going to do the job that you were paid to do. I don't get it.
Yeah.
What's the logic, by the way? Like, let's put ourselves in the goons' shoes.
No, I saw a video. One of them was very honest, and he said, at this point, M-Pesa, oh damn, he doesn't have money, no food, and if this is the only way that he gets to earn a living, he has to do what he has to do.
That's a good.
Can you call it earning a living? Like you're earning a living.
It's
for
a
2 days.
job, but it's a job with debt.
You see, that's I see his vision.
Yeah.
I understand him, but also you don't have to. It's not like kuna KPIs where you have to like show us what you've looted.
Facts.
Take the money.
Take the money
and
then-
stay
And then
home.
just go take a few selfies, then go home. You don't have to like loot anyone.
No, but even in the grand scheme of things, and that statement was like, okay, so why don't you go and loot on a normal day when people's businesses are running? Why do you have to wait to take advantage of a situation? Because if there are no protests, you will not loot.
Yeah.
So why not wake up today, go and loot?
And the protest is to change your life.
There you go.
Like we're trying to do this, trying to fix the things that are ailing you.
From earning a normal living.
But how it's been designed by the government, it's to show that there was no peace. So there's peaceful protest. Alafu you guys come and disrupt the whole thing so that it's reported as...
Gen Zs are not peaceful protesters.
This is why we had to tear gas. This is why we had to shoot. This is why we had to...
And I don't know if our way of understanding things are so much better than Kitambo, but right now, we can see the narrative.
Yeah.
One, they're saying the protests are not safe.
Yes.
It's bad for business. That's a narrative that we know it's not true.
True.
Another thing that a lot of politicians are trying to use right now, they're trying to make it look like a Kikuyu thing.
And I was just about to get to
Right?
that.
Yeah.
Especially, there's certain politicians on X who are really, really, really moving on tribal lines, and it's like they're trying to pin a certain tribe down. I don't know if I'm the one who saw this poster. It was apparently a poster in Kisumu.
Yes.
Where it was Kisumu for peace, but above it, there's a poster that says Kikuyus will not push us out.
Yeah. It's the whole narrative that, they form the government, right? And I don't know what to feel for my Western people. Like the Western community, fine, you've never had a president. Senor.
Yeah.
But like this whole narrative that you're being lied to, that because we have a few guys from Western in power, that you're fixed. Like the narrative, like, because now, kuna hiyo narrative, like, okay, yes, the president has appointed 1, 2, 3, 4 people from your community. So you should keep quiet.
No,
you shouldn't say anything.
I don't think that's the narrative. I think the point is more, because I see guys talking about it a lot. And I think the point that the west side of Kenya is trying to push is, for the longest time, we've always seemed like the ones who don't want the country to progress. Because when this happened, mostly it was the west side of Kenya that would be outside protesting and speaking up that this is wrong, this is what. So now, even in this event where, remember the first time when Ruto was sworn into power, the same Western Kenya was the guys who were still out. It's safe to say they're the ones who are still out. And it got to a point where it was like, okay, whatever has happened has happened. And now that Nusumkate has happened and these guys are now in cahoots, they're like, it's your fault because we've been trying to tell you that this person was not right, and now it's like,
I want to...
shida ni yenyu sasa, as we're out. We've tried as much as we could, and now,
this is it.
Let's benefit.
Okay.
Yeah.
This whole... We used to do it back then. We tried to fix... I don't wanna believe that was exactly what was happening.
Okay.
All the other protests that used to happen in Zamani, that was being led by Raila, it was very self-centered.
Which we are now, I'd say now
very
is when we are
self-centered.
starting to see that.
So when he wanted something, that's when we used to see protests. Because he used to organize protests in Kibera, Langata, Kisumu. Like that's where we used to see most of the protests. We grew up
knowing that these are the hotspots for demonstrations.
Exactly. But then again, now that we're seeing it, we know that this person
has always been an agenda.
We were taught to believe that he was our savior. And he was one who was trying to fix our country.
Yes.
And he was one who was trying to but then again, apparently it's a tactical thing. See, what we are seeing now is we have the people who are ruling, and then we have this person who's holding the opposition. Who's the one who can only be the opposition. Senor, if these two people are on the same page, we will never have change. We will never have change, ever. And if this person who every single time, Alibio votes 2022, right? No, 2017.
2002, from 2007.
2017, he's the one who, which,
2007, that's where
election was nullified.
Yes.
No, the one that was nullified, that was
factually. 2022.
No, 2022 was
The one
Juicy.
2020.
No, 2017 is the one
2017,
that
yes.
That's the one, right?
Yes.
So, okay, he has done all this and he had won, right? But then again, we had to come back again, do an election again.
Yes.
But then again, we saw him, because 2017 when the election happened and he didn't vie and Uhuru won the second time, that's when he started this, that's when he meshed the governments. That's when this whole idea of having a broad-based government started. Nusumkate and all these things. And I feel like his protest every single time had an agenda that I'm going to be protesting until you give me something. Because he used to sit with them, agree, and then come take pictures together, and then nothing changes to us though. Nothing has ever changed. So now that we're seeing this, now how do we change? What's the future what's the future looking like now that we have so many cards that are open right now? We're not as dumb as we are.
True,
right?
as we used to be.
We have so many aunts who were loyal to this man. and they genuinely believe he would change us. But then again, what we've seen for the last couple of years,
it's really been
clearly
a
we've seen that
changer.
this guy, he doesn't want to, like, it's always been a tactical way of losing, because now you will lose, but then again, you'll be in power.
Yeah, you'll get
chaos.
whatever you want with
And
no
then with no
responsibility.
responsibility. So now you have all these people connecting. You have tentacles in the government, but you don't really have any.
Yeah.
And you can come back to us again and say that we want to change
this and
this,
that, facts.
and then we listen to you.
Literally, you're playing both sides of the fence.
So like it's, what do you guys think that how can we? Because now we have like guys like Maraga who are trying to be the president, right? Like how do we change this narrative? Yeah, we have these two opposition, the guys who we've known for the longest time, and then we have like a new face, no history of politics, but now I've seen conversation online saying that he doesn't have the aura. Someone said,
So far, what has Aura done for us? What has Aura done for us?
yeah, they're assuming the current guy has an aura. He
Which
doesn't.
one?
Hey, voting against Aura
Is madness. Okay, Taf, I see you.
That's a good one. Yeah. So like, how do we decide? You know what? We must register and we vote without our tribal lines.
Yeah.
We vote where we are, because I feel another mistake is what's your no shago. You live here every single day,
But you end up
You
put
can-
your vote
But then
on
again,
drugs.
yeah.
It's crazy.
because now that's when you have funny people in Nairobi.
Mas they're sitting in numbers, see jokes.
Yeah.
See
So-
jokes.
But what if your interests are based there? Like me, just live in Nairobi, but all my things go on there. My farm is there, my family is there, my whatever is there.
Your one vote will not change anything there.
No, what are you
It's
doing
my
here?
one vote and his one vote.
What
and
do you
our
do
one
here?
vote and- Oh, mkuja Nairobi kuhustle.
Exactly. This is where matters,
now-
because this is where you make your bread.
So that means you've come here to try and find something here.
And if it's
Yeah.
not working,
Then
so how
if
do you
should
make
fix
something?
here so that you can be able to have something there? And usually the dynamics, I don't know, because see, when you're counting Nairobi County, for example,
Yeah.
when you compare Nairobi with the other counties, it's
Nairobi is performing the worst. It's
significantly
crazy.
It's worse, but then again, the resources and the amounts of lives that are affected
Dependent on
for
it,
Nairobi.
okay, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
let's look at percentage wise. The amount of people who live in Kenya. How many live in Nairobi?
The most.
10,
Like-
10 million.
Yeah. So that's so many people who are here.
As compared
But then
to-
again, only 2 million, maybe less than 2 million vote here.
Vote. Okay.
So the 8 million who live here, that's 80%.
Yeah.
80%, they would rather give
Go
that
back,
funny MCA
yeah.
in Kakamega, huko where they wouldn't. MCA of Kakamega and
Whatever
MCA
happens in
Kileleshwa,
Kakamega doesn't
MCA
really-
Kileleshwa affects you directly because
Yeah.
you live here.
Yeah.
And he allows all these clubs to be open next to you. Unaelewa?
Yeah.
So you go to vote for that MCA, you let Ali become your MCA, and then he opens a club next
Yeah,
to you. So what's the logic?
True.
Okay. I see you.
Umechelewa kidogo, but
So my gosh. And of course, more diabolical things. Like, bro, this country is the country that just keeps on giving, but giving the worst. State House, the 1.2 billion church that is being built by the president.
Out of pocket. Like out of his own. That news is out of pocket.
Already.
But apparently he's building it from his own coffers.
He's funding it by himself.
Yeah.
You know,
A church that's supposed to sit 8,000
Where?
people.
which 8,000 people are going to go to?
First of
Oh,
all,
so how
a
many people are in
protected area-
State House? That's
State
what we
House is
need
a
to first-
protected
yes.
area. How do you just let 8,000 people into a protected area?
Who's going to be going to this church in State House? That's the main question, because it's an 8,000 seater. Who?
A sensitive protected area left for 8,000 people? That's a security breach on another
Every week.
level. Every
Literally
week.
every day. I didn't even think of that. Damn.
Najeka siku za maombi na present worship.
Kesha.
Hey.
and then which faction of church will it be? Is it be Catholic? Is it
Oh,
be
Good
one?
question.
Anglican.
Good question.
And why not one? Why the other?
Good question.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions.
But
So this
it's
Tafari
building on government land.
is what, like, that's our land. Unadu. Seriously, what is she doing?
Mi kwanza nashangaa kama wamekata kuala Uhuru Park ikwe open, so to speak, for public. Because a few like a month ago, I went to Uhuru Park, and when you walk into Uhuru Park, unafeel nika unaingia barracks.
Yeah.
Because of all the...
like yani
No,
iko
security,
barricaded.
if your
Because you
ID
remember when we were growing up, Uhuru Park, you could literally...
Yeah.
Ukikuwa town, unaweza ingia Uhuru Park from
Yeah.
whatever side, whatever direction.
Yeah.
Because they were like... It used to have like different paths that could lead
But
into
that's
the
good
park.
for safety, no?
No.
But sasa...
It's a public park. Why?
No, but like if it's accessible but there is security, that's not a bad thing.
It's crazy because now going to Uhuru Park, you literally have to go through the one gate, leave your ID.
That's
Leave
not a
your
bad
ID.
Yes.
You have to leave your ID.
No, not
That's what I'm saying.
Like
So
when you
safety
walk
how?
in, when you walk in,
leave your ID there.
Yes, utatoka. When you're leaving, you pick it from the gate.
Sounds like a residential...
There you go. It's like I'm walking into somebody's crib.
Also, for me, you think I feel like the idea of a park needs to be
Open.
Yeah.
like
You access it
public
anytime.
access.
Yes.
Unanielewa, because either way, you can't say you're providing me with security and the people whom you've left there to manage the place are the ones who are making me feel insecure from the word go.
I want to disagree on that because I've been to parks that are not in the country, and there's usually some sort of organization in terms of the entry points and exit. So, and there's usually security. There's usually like cops, not
Wait,
armed
like
guys.
surrounding the whole
not
area?
surrounding, but like you just see, you will feel
It's control.
you'll feel like there is some sort of safety. Zamani, Uhuru Park was open. There was like, it's just bako barabara, you know, zingia anywhere. And to be honest, let's not pretend, a lot of things used to happen there in terms of robbery.
True.
A lot of robbery, especially, the upper hill. I know so many people, there was a time you can't even walk because utaibiwa na msati ingia park ingia aepe.
On security terms.
Exactly. So the idea that maybe we don't want us having it accessible most of the time or rather all the time, that should be a good thing. The idea that kuna security, that shouldn't be a bad thing.
Me, the only issue I had with the park ni the kind of environment, whoever it is you're living to man the place is providing you with. Because that day we were with a group of artists, and since most of us had dreadlocks, we were somewhat
already your profile.
we were profiled more than people who didn't have dreadlocks, which to me, like it breaks the whole point of it being an open public space.
No, for me, the leaving the ID thing is a part where I don't understand. Like,
I
we had
don't
gone
think
to shoot.
people leave the ID.
Imagine you do.
Did you leave your ID?
We were asked to tulifanywa too excess search and I didn't think
Doesn't
it
make
was
sense.
necessary.
No, the dreadlocks part, that's a society problem.
I
don't know.
After who you're paying out to dreadlocks?
No, this is not about
Why
me.
is the government pushing
This
the
is not
agenda?
about me. I'll give you an honest whatever. So I'd gone to shoot content at Uhuru Park. So we were supposed to leave IDs to Kakata. Because not at Kakata. I didn't have a physical ID. I only had my whatever.
You're still allowed.
Pause. She says, since I don't have lazima nimpatie, because I'm not allowed to go in without leaving documentation at the gate.
Okay.
And on top of that, and because I'm also going to shoot inside Uhuru Park, I still need to pay for shooting fees. And I asked her, what do you mean? Oh, Sujeti, you have to go to the county. There's a permit you're supposed to get, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, permit?
To shoot.
To create content, I need a permit to create content in Uhuru Park.
I think she lied to you to get some money. Because I don't think you...
And who's doing this?
Because you can... Nowadays, all the filming thing in Tao and public places is...
And that's
free.
exactly what I'm saying.
So she like tricked you there, yes. But yeah, I see what you mean, yeah.
Who's running? Is it the Nairobi county?
County, yeah.
This is county that running Uhuru Park.
Yeah. It's a county that is. It's another county. Just like most of the public.
So that means Uhuru Park has opening hours now.
See, safe to say that.
I have so many questions.
It has to be closed, no?
But Kitambo, it was open 24/7. Like,
No, that's just because something used to happen in Kitambo doesn't mean that's the correct way.
yeah.
Tukubaliane hapo kwanza.
But see, they can open even like if I want to go to Uhuru Park at like midnight.
Isn't that the whole point of security then?
Why? Unaenda kufanya Uhuru Park midnight?
End up chill.
Let's be realistic.
Say I want to
No,
touch
no,
grass.
kuna dreadlocks. My friend.
Security breach from
No.
the beginning.
Actually, it's open. It's open. Thingy 24/7 and remains open to the public every day.
I feel like that should be the case of
Yeah,
parks.
I wouldn't be mad if it was closed at midnight, to be honest.
You've been
But then
driving
again-
around Uhuru Park. Unafanya nini hapa?
Okay, tell me, what sane person is going to Uhuru Park at 2 a.m.?
I just want to vibe.
Exactly my point.
What's your point?
You have to-
Sema, what's sin first? See, so that maybe we're arguing
my
on Tito Niambe
gosh.
touch grass. I'm like,
No,
like,
but
sawa,
for real
got you.
though. But
Hiyo sasa unaenda tweet. Unaenda tweet.
Niko like,
Nimeambiwa.
hii maneno
ameniambia
ya church,
touch grass.
honestly though, I don't know. But let's just wait and see how it unfolds. Because I've been seeing some guys saying that apparently it's what do you call it? Stall tactic or something like that, like to confuse guys
Yeah.
and not focus on other things.
They do that a lot.
Someone was saying it could be that, but then again, this is Kenya. These are just things you wait, sit, and watch how it unfolds.
I saw some people arguing that, Uhuru was allowed to have a bar. Why not have a church?
Nigga, you think Nigga was drinking 1.2 billion? No, let's just be
Okay,
serious.
it's Uhuru. Come on. Are we gonna assume that
But
with inflation?
adjusted.
Big example.
oh my gosh.
Because
Yeah, now.
I think he was sober for like maybe a couple of minutes a day.
Maybe.
Wait,
Maybe.
Uhuru
I
had
don't
a
know.
bar in State House. I'm a State House too, as a living quarters had a bar.
I think so. I don't know.
I don't think that's
It's
a
Sogo who
breach.
said it.
But allegedly, there's also another one that was in Uhuru Park. So,
That one I've heard rumors of.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But hey, as we continue moving.
What do you think, maybe before we move on,
sorry.
what do you think of that conversation? Because guys are saying, if you're building a church, build a mosque, build a synagogue, build a...
Like I said,
Other
this
people.
could just be one of those things, stall tactics. So let's just wait and see.
So
how
he's
it
saying
unfolds.
there's an existing church. So he's
They-
renovating
apparently
the existing
zinakwanga za
church.
mabati.
So he's trying to renovate the existing church.
I don't know if there's an existing
Can
one.
you renovate a
specific.
Yeah,
Matlati
they took-
house
I saw
by
pictures
1.2
online, no?
billion? Hey.
See, there is an existing church
But you see, apparently there are many. See Moja.
inside.
Yes, apparently you're supposed to build mabati ones from what I had read. So now this one building like a proper structure is like
Yeah. Also,
What's
spending that much money on that and
telling us
and there
what
are
will you
people-
tell God,
and
bro?
Yeah, and then
Bro.
there was someone who alienda hospitali akaambiwa you're not sick enough.
Your tumor is not big enough. We're about to get to that. Like
Hey.
there is so much to unpack today. Okay, before we even go now to health, let's talk about this blogger. I don't know how to say his first name, but I know his name is Ndiangui.
Oh,
Finally, he was found after 11 days.
Damn.
But now there's so many theories surrounding his arrest. There's guys who think he was not arrested by the DCI. Apparently, he found his way to Jificha and he popped up after 11 days. And the guys who still have the theory of he was actually arrested by the DCI and him popping up and saying what he said was he was coerced to
Was
say what he
calculated,
said.
yeah.
I saw the haircut.
Thank you.
That is not a voluntary.
Oh my God, Saddam.
That is not a
That's the
haircut you
only
pay
thing
for.
you needed to know.
You don't go and say nipatie hii.
Nigga, botch my head. I am paying you to botch my
Hiyo ni
head.
fade ya serikali.
Damn.
Hiyo ni ya mfungwa.
I am abusu. For
Caesars were
real.
definitely involved.
It's crazy. But
I think alistuliwa. I think alistuliwa, and I feel like they have a way of making you really question your reality in terms of how they will interrogate you, in terms of what they'll do. Because we've seen so many people who've been kidnapped just come out and just
something is definitely.
something
Yeah, they
just
look
empty,
shaken.
Yeah.
there's something. And I feel like sometimes I don't want to say I can't blame them because I've never been in that situation. But like it's clear it's something is amiss.
Yeah. Moss?
Yeah, I was just shaken because I couldn't even recognize him when they were saying he's free.
Yeah.
I saw a photo online and I'm trying to
Is
look
this
for
the
him.
same person?
And then my bro told me that's him. It's the haircut wametoa nywele. Then I was like, oh my God. But I still, like, I agree with what you're saying. I can imagine hizo 11 days kwake felt like a year. Whatever they were doing to him. Because not everyone is bold enough to, to go all Boniface Mwangi and tell us details.
Yeah.
Or try to surround the situation with. And I don't know how his community is around him. Because in that situation, even if people show up for you,
How?
like there's a level of pain and torment that can't just go away.
No one can really relate to.
Yeah, and I'm usually the fear doesn't have to come from you, from your parents. They will sit down with you and you will see how terrified they are, and they will start putting things in your head and trying to convince you and trying to they will just get in your head to the point whereby
Tulikwambia usichokoze serikali.
yeah, in like contextually, like okay, so if you die, you know, like okay, fine, and then or maybe they will come with some theories that okay, you're being used. The people who are doing this, we are handling it.
Yeah.
So where do you want to die with them? You could come up with some. You know, when they come in to interrogate you, they can make it look like you're the one who's crazy. Wakugaslight up hivyo mbaya sana mpaka ukubali hiyo haircut. Because I don't think he said I want that.
Definitely, I think alinyolewa too as an act of intimidation.
Yeah, that's definitely could
But
be.
I think that's the thing the state does.
be.
Like, of course, if you're arrested with dreadlocks, they'll just intimidate you by cutting your hair.
Yeah, because that's crazy.
Damn. And yeah, on to health. First, I think yesterday's event is the one that really just cemented for most of us that there is really a big problem, not just systemically in terms of in terms of ruling, but even down to health. Like we've always had complaints about SHA, how it's not working, it's this, it's that. The systems are constantly down. There's always just something happening, right? So this story first popped up about this lady who was told her tumor is not big enough for SHA to cover her treatment. And I still didn't understand. Like, what do you mean not big enough? So why exactly am I paying for SHA if there needs to be like, is there levels to treatment that SHA covers? Is it that they just cover treatment?
And forgive me if I'm wrong, I don't know much about medicine, but isn't that one of those situations like the earlier you catch it, the better the chances you have?
Yeah, it looks like it's most people are told catch things when they're early.
Yeah.
I have mixed opinions about SHA. From my perspective, funny enough, it's more positive. I have seen it work faster than an insurance. Personally, I have had it being approved within 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and I've had my personal insurance take like maybe 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know if it's sometimes it's like incompetence. You know what I mean? Because I can't. For example, I can't. You being the person who's in charge of health, I feel like you will be responsible for everyone's incompetence.
Yeah.
There are people who work better, who are just generally just okay with their job.
Yeah,
There are people who are just maybe they don't care.
Yeah.
And I feel like with SHA, I've also had so many people that I know. I don't usually like. I can't really judge tweets per se. Like I can't really put so much of my judgment based on maybe what someone has said that I don't know. Like I would take things that I know, right?
Yeah.
I've had experiences from my wife as well, and most of them, it's the time response that they confirm is very fast. Also my house help.
Okay.
She's needed something. SHA helps
SHA's come
instantly.
through. Okay.
Like there are some things that work, but I think the way they communicate, I think that's where there's like a huge gap. And I feel like if you have something that is working, and because you'll always have negatives, and I think people will be incompetent. There's sometimes system may go down, but every single time you see something negative happening online, it's probably true.
Yeah.
But then again, the way they communicate, they have a bad reputation because how it started and how there's so many people fighting it because NHIF. Also, to be honest, NHIF had like their own cartels. Yeah. And I'm sure those are guys who were fighting it at the beginning. So, because things were changing.
Yeah.
When changes happen, people who've benefiting the money they don't like it.
True.
So I'm sure there's most of the fight at the beginning was very from lack of knowledge from most people, and those people were fighting it. But I feel like also they haven't done enough to try and educate people in terms of, because I didn't even know you just need to like request for your thing to be approved, and it just happens on your phone, and you get you don't even need to call anyone. Do you know how ridiculous it is? Yeah. So and me discovering it as I'm using it was like a eye-opening, because I feel like if they put more effort in terms of
educating people more on the service,
if I know this is what it can do, I will sign up everyone in my family. Because now at Akama, even if the bill, for example, the bill was like maybe 400,000 shillings, they paid like maybe 70, right? That is not bad.
Yeah.
to be honest.
I agree.
Considering whatever you pay, your premiums. Because remember, we're a country of millions of people.
True.
And everyone has to benefit. And not everyone will pay 100%. So the goal is to try and pay whatever they
Cover
can.
as much as they can.
Because it has to be equal. Isn't it?
Facts.
So in interior design, how do we now start from somewhere, get this small percentage to work, and then find ways of improving that to be, if you can point to where now, inaweza kuwa ni 50%, inaweza kuwa ni 60%, inaweza kuwa ni 70%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The negatives, you'll always see them.
Oh, that's a given.
I don't think
given.
it's like a false thing. I don't think someone is lying online.
Yeah.
It's definitely the truth.
Yeah.
But now the thing
everyone's experience is just different.
Yeah, and I think-
unfortunately.
100%. And usually these are the situations whereby now they need to take this kind of example and fix
this,
whatever
fix it from inside.
part of the law, that whatever they put out that would allow someone to be sick more for you to be eligible for something.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean?
crazy.
Yeah, ideally, because now you don't want him to be more sick, so you pay him more. Maybe whatever this is less.
True.
You know what I mean?
So
No, but
ideally
not
they
even-
wanted this babe to go home.
Yeah,
and
come
get
back with a
sicker,
bigger
like,
tube and then
come back after
we'll-
3 months when it's
cover.
this size.
It's madness.
Yeah,
Like
that's
even the law,
yeah.
like to think that kuna mtu anafikiria na hiyo akili is just wild. Like that's
A
the
whole
brain
ass
you use
doctor.
every day. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Also, I think I agree with what Saddam said.
Yeah.
Sometimes, given that not so much, how will I put it? Like the guys who are employed by the government, so to
Like
speak.
to run government
not
services.
so many of them are very competent in whatever thing they do. Have you ever tried to apply for a passport and
Bro.
that day you just find someone who does not give
Give a fuck. Like that, she doesn't want to be here, and it's evident.
Yeah, so you might find a very simple thing that will take you 5 minutes,
Facts.
will take you days, just because
Like
whoever it is that you are
Jakesho.
dealing
Ajali.
with does not like your hair, or
Yeah.
does not like your attitude, or does they
Kuna-
just
kuna
don't
Just don't like.
Doesn't like your podcast. I don't know. Like there's nowhere you're going.
yeah. So again, it still goes back to even the people who are in these offices and how they are running the offices, and it trickles down to even the person like the steward.
True.
Yeah. So
It's a collective thing.
kuna kibarua hapo.
And I think also like what you mentioned, civic education in this particular sector is very important.
Highly.
Even just a simple video. This is Saddam. He has a headache. All he needs is his phone and his ID.
do this, do
And
that, do that.
Yeah.
No, but Saddam, don't they have you just did a brand ambassadorship for like blood transfusion or something like that?
Was it?
Blood transfusion or something, donating blood or something like
Yeah.
that. Why can't they just do the same things? Get SHA people to go to, or have, like, I remember in KNH Kitambo, they used to have like running ads on TV. Like a TV dedicated just for KNH to explain these services work like this. For this is this, for that is that.
And especially in this day and
yeah.
age where people consume a lot of information online. Like you can just easily...
Even 30-second testimonials.
Bro, done.
Like true testimonials, not acted ones.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Because the problem also be how... I think the thing
They're
is
trying to
when
push-
you have like old people running things, it's so difficult for them to convince them to do things that are so simple, yet they'll be like, oh, we'll put something on gazeti.
Yeah.
Ama, oh, we'll...
Lazima tutafute prime time
Make
kwa
up
radio.
funny
14 million kando ya brochures. Uko like,
Why?
40 million brochure. Put me 1 million.
Oh Lord. Anyway, I feel like it's to me, depression mode sana. Any checked from you guys? Let's see what you got.
hey, watu watawajakuwa kijoke. That's how
Yeah,
serious.
you know something. Hey, it's too much. We have fixed the nation enough. Let's laugh a bit.
Hey. Let's see what I have. You can go ahead with yours as I...
Let's see what I got.
I saw a tweet that said,
Okay.
I don't know the actual tweet, but I remember there was a conversation like, why did we ever learn about Buganda Kingdom?
No, honestly.
No,
Omulamuzi. Okay, Omulamuzi amenisaidia na nini
Me,
sahi?
my main problem is, why is that? Hizo ndio vitu mu kumbuka.
Lukaka. Some like that. Bro, that was
Let me
foolishness.
see. I think I'll find it.
That was
It was like a
foolishness.
whole explanation of the whole government.
Omulamuzi no mulamwei. Guy. Anyway. No, actually my check was about Mwass. Mwass said that he needed flirting lessons. I saw what you posted and I cringed on this babe's behalf. So this is Mwass flirting. Ati sulale poa kama chaisi moto.
Huh?
Ulale poa. Lekupoa. Kama chaisi.
Bro.
Yeah, you need help.
This babe laughed.
No. Yeah.
All that matters. Ama alicheka ile.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it probably was one of those. But yeah, you need help.
But I'll keep you posted.
You need help.
And I can't see her profile picture.
I wonder why. I wonder why. Another one.
You guys don't, Yangi box nizo.
No. Actually, that will leave you on red, bro. Like all the best catching.
Me, if I show you my DMs, then you mean on a flat. And this year makes sense. Umeiva kama chai ya saa 4 p.m.
No, chai ya saa 4 p.m. What other time would saa 10 be? Red! Nigga, there's nothing to talk about.
Be a drop in. Like, unakaa meko kupiga coffee.
Siwezi. Saddam?
There was another video I watched today.
Mm-hmm.
It was like some scientist. He was explaining how smell is, he called it particulate.
Okay.
Meaning, it's particles. For example, if I smell good cologne, right? You know, cologne is made of like spices. So it's like things are there. So you're smelling, it's an actual spice.
Yeah.
So it's that goes to your nose, and then the actual particle. It's not like it could be very small,
okay,
whatever the size. So that's what goes to your bloodstream, goes to your brain, and then your brain perceives it, and then that's how you smell. I get. So if Mwass akishoot hapa, the actual particles.
Yani ungesema Mwass akivaa cologne nzuri.
So now the thing is when you smell someone's fat, it's the actual fat that's inside you. That you are.
See why people need to go to the bathroom. Now do you get my point?
Kwani utadedi ukinusa mshuto?
Yeah, you actually can.
You can't.
You've not watched 1,000 Ways to Die?
Wait, there is that.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Mtu alinusa mshuto akadedi?
Like it was a lot, it was just one very conk one.
Hold up.
There are those ones even me, I hurumia my guests, I go to the balcony. Like in advance, you just know, acha niangalie sightseeing.
I'm saying, by the way,
mtu anakuja na sigara karibu. You become a health
Death
hazard.
by farts. This is by Invisible College of Experimental Flatology. They say to fill the closet with the concentration of lethal gas, I would require 233,427 farts.
No one is dying by those farts.
Damn.
Hiyo hata niwapikie maharagwe na mayai boilo.
Damn.
hata uingie kwa bafu. Because usually
Oh my God.
Because of the steam and everything. Hey,
Mariah, absolutely
like
not.
You leave your couch, unaendanga kwa choo kushuta alafu unatoka. Mariah.
Pardon?
You leave your couch, you go to the bathroom.
If I'm by myself, I'll fart, of course. But if there's people, I'll definitely go to the bathroom. Like that's not even.
Do you like undress?
To fart? That's too much information. I am definitely not giving to that.
Makes sense.
What if you're wearing really expensive jeans? Uko like, hautaniharibia hizi.
Nah, kwani how little is this fart? Come on.
Sometimes, it's funny because I feel like when you undressed, you won't just copy fart.
That's true.
You just have to maliza tu.
Yeah.
Have you ever guys had this moment where you feel like you really want to take a shit, alafu kienda kumbe it's just one big gas?
Yeah,
a lot.
daily.
A lot.
Daily. Okay,
you're excused, but a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
What's the reason?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
It's the same sensation.
Okay, why are we having a deep
Cause
think
air
about
and
farts?
solid-
Like, can we just
air and
move
solid
on?
is the same
Because of the particle. Saddam the scientist.
I'm sorry.
Tumesema particle inaingia kwa akili.
I think you might be right. Maybe that's how people register notes as a perfume and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever smelled somebody's perfume and then, or just a particular smell, and after 20 years, you might not remember what exactly, but your brain will register, I've smelled this before.
Yeah, me personally, I tie memory with smell.
Interesting.
For example, whatever I smell here now, if it's like a similar thing, years later, if I smell something similar, I'll have
Like
a flashback. Yeah.
I remember things that used to happen here, like way more vivid than.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I feel like it's two scientists today. Alafu me drop biology in Form 1. Me. Kuna vitu.
It's telling.
The only thing that biology could have helped me with if I was to be a doctor, and that was out of the question from the beginning. So I just told I was one of those weird kids who dropped biology. It was hard.
You didn't like
you
didn't be a doctor?
If you walk into an office, you're sick, you're a gym rat, and you find a fat doctor.
He's healthy. That's
Na mimi ndo nakwambia cut down on your cholesterol.
yeah.
But isn't that like I know so many
Is that not a
doctors.
genetic problem? Sometimes like, being fat could be a genetic problem.
It's eating a lot of food.
For real.
Pretty sure.
It's genetics.
I don't think you
It
can,
might be genetics.
I don't think you can starve but be fat genetically.
No, like babies who are born like at 5 kgs. Isn't that not
See, what do you mean 5 kgs? See, because the mother was eating a lot of food.
And like you've not seen like petite mothers and the baby is like huge.
The mother was eating.
So akisema mtoto anaitisha mtura ilikuwa ugo. You know how cravings are just weird. Yani 3 a.m. unaniamsha ati mtoto anataka candy floss.
Nataka waru za barabara. It's like what do you want me to
Mtoto
do?
hapi cotton candy saa 9.
Ama mawe.
Nasikia nataka avocado ya Kisumu. Because what is the difference?
Me to tell the Google Maps.
Go off.
Yeah, if you're fat, you're fat. Hakuna genetics.
Hey, Saddam, damn.
It's genetics. Saddam the scientist. To introduce your segment.
Well, hey.
No, we'll have someone from the gym balea to amuliza.
True.
It's like you can put 2 people side by side, same workout, same diet, different results.
Absolutely bullshit.
No way.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. It's absolutely that it doesn't work.
I'm ready to be the experiment.
You started eating less because of an appetite. Sindrio,
Oh yeah.
what happened to you?
Lost
I
weight.
lost weight
Why?
because I ate less.
Tosha.
Nadhani unampiga gunshot.
No, he's closed the file. He's closed the file. But on to good news. We're celebrating Africa. Starting off with Pogba.
Yeah, I saw him crying.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, Mwass, allow me to enlighten. This is our moment to shine.
What sport is this? Sorry.
Cricket. So Paul Pogba has made a return to football, and on the 20th of June, he signed a 2-year contract with League One side
Monaco.
AS Monaco, yes, marking this as his first move in French domestic football. For Mwass, he was banned because he was doping.
Okay.
Yes, so they found doping, and yeah, he was banned.
They found something in his bloodstream that has testosterone, which is like
boosting. It's an enhancer to perform better in sports. So,
but he claimed that he was injured. So during the process of recovery, one of his nutritionists, no, his doctor, recommended some few things, and then one of the supplements had something that was banned.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
that is what he said.
But yeah, so I think he was supposed to be banned for 10 years, but he only did 18 months.
I think it's supposed to be 4.
But he did 18 months.
Yeah, he did 18.
Yeah, so now he's officially
unbanned.
back. Okay. And he was just, as he was signing this contract, of course, he was in tears. I can imagine, that's like literally your livelihood. So
he was balling, he wasn't saving, so he almost became broke.
Yeah, it was bad. And bad to the point, like he was talking about how his phone went silent and even his wife left. And, it just had me thinking how society, like, I don't understand. Okay, I understand, of course, why he was sad. But then again, I didn't understand why he was so sad, because isn't that just how society is normally going?
Yeah.
Hey, when your pockets run dry,
literally everything runs dry, bro.
If you build relationship because of money,
okay, yeah, true.
You will lose them.
You will lose
Easy.
because of money.
Literally,
Yeah.
you lose how you win.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like, okay, I understand your tears, but I'm confused at the fact that you're shocked that your wife actually left. Like,
Yeah. So
the
maybe,
wife leaving is actually true.
yeah, she did leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So money played a significant role in that marriage.
Evidently.
A leading role.
Evidently.
Yeah.
Evidently.
Mkisemanga for richer or for poor, mnakuanga serious.
Hapo kwa fupua.
Wow.
No.
But also, don't...
Hey!
You are giving that up. Don't encourage him.
Truly.
Maybe he's at peace now that the wife is not there asking for a new bag or whatever. If it was about money.
We'll see if he saves.
Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes.
I mean, it's funny because during all this was happening, his brother was said that Pogba ni mchawi.
Yeah, something. Yeah, there's been
So
rumors
he was
about
fighting with
witchcraft.
his brother was trying to extort money from him. So his brother was jailed for blackmailing him.
I actually hate it when it's family leading things.
Yeah,
Like,
But all the time, most of the time, it's always that way.
And it's like
It's
older
always
brothers.
that way.
And then it's with one of those when things are good, you would always see him with his brothers, right?
taking care of them and everything.
Yes, like your bro has made it. He's like a superstar. You're always with him, and then they start blackmailing him through people,
Yeah.
trying to get more money from him.
I think there are things that are not
But
forgivable.
no money for what? I practically do everything for you. So what more money do you need?
I think he had some. In his story last year, there's so much going on in Mesau, but like they had some demands, like he wanted this and this.
Demands.
Yeah, they're like demands, crazy demands. To the point whereby all these stories, you know, the Kone story, Pogba has buried things or
Chicken legs inside the pitch. Yeah.
That story has been going on. That's because his
Forever.
brother actually told us.
Yeah.
Like his brother said that my brother does witchcraft, so he plays better. That's crazy.
Telling you.
And then the wife leaves him. He's banned. So I can like it's such a
In
it was like
series
a
of
dark.
so many things.
It was like a dark, and then also he wasn't like the most popular in terms of like the pundits. People used to not like him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so many pundits used to.
It's been a tough 18 months for him. Or
Yeah.
prior.
Poor Pogba. But hey, let's see how this 2-year contract works for him. But yeah, all the best with that.
So now he's in which club?
Monaco.
League One side AS Monaco. AS Monaco, I think that's the name of the team.
Okay.
The team is called Monaco.
Okay.
You're better okay, EPL.
Shut the fuck up.
The nigga shut the fuck up.
Guys, just so you know, this is my first time using this thing and yeah.
Unabahatisha. Hebu fanya gunshots. Mama umeweka silence.
There you go. And also, we're officially getting the first African Hollywood Star Walk of Fame. So 64-year-old Angelique Kidjo, I don't know why I say Kojo, but yeah, she's gonna be the first to get it from a list of 35 people who will be getting the star. She's the first Black African. Man, that's huge. That's huge. That's huge.
Is it that the one you get it and then it's your job to maintain it?
Yes, the one. Yeah, that one.
Ito ko wapi?
In Hollywood.
Oh. Wait.
Because then inaletwa Kejo Street.
Moi Avenue.
Wait, so it's a street for only Africans?
No. So it's a street where they just have stars appreciating all
first
the famous
African.
people. So she'll be
She'll be the first African.
Black African, because there's an African, this actress, Charlize Theron, she's white, but she's from South Africa. So she's the first African. But Angelique Kidjo will be the first Black African.
Crazy, we have to differentiate.
And it's
that.
expensive.
Right?
But
It's
wanasema
crazy.
It's like 50,000 a year to clean it.
Bro, clearly she
If
got
you
the
honor
funds.
me and then unanicha 50K.
No, she has the
USD,
funds.
yeah.
This lady is...
Even if I have the funds.
Bro, she has the funds.
Ukiniambia best podcast mtakuwa mkitupatia 2 million a year.
Bro, she has the
Forget
funds to do
I mean,
it.
I want those two short guys Oyekwe.
Who?
Oh, Aki and Popo.
Yeah. Those guys are legends.
They are.
Ama watengeneze yao.
Itabidi. Lagos wachangamke watengeneze yao. It's the only way. Shut your mouth.
Mi ningesema
Shut your mouth.
mi ningesema
Yay! Shut your mouth. Let's as you proceed.
Nyota ndogo.
Hey, hapana.
Amesema nyota ndogo.
Nyota ndogo should have been the first one. But it's okay. Story for another day.
My goodness.
That is a father
Oh my gosh. Wait, unless guys you have anything to add, I think we've come to the end of such an amazing show.
Yeah.
But before we conclude, I have to remind you guys that we are officially going on tour. It's about to be lit.
Yay!
Yes, and our first stop is going to be Mombasa, 9th of August. We are yet to announce the venue, but it should be happening in Nyali, if I'm not wrong. But we're about to give all the
Tikiti
good
ziko kwenye
juice
bio.
in between. But you can get your tickets on Hustle Sasa. And we also have Kisumu on the 6th of September and Nairobi, which will be the last and probably the baddest stop. 1st November. Make sure you get your tickets. They're available on Hustle Sasa. Can't wait to see you guys. But yeah, it's been an amazing.
Oh, I want to give a shout out to the guy who was interviewed with the t-shirt, Kiss Me If You Hate Ruto.
Did it work?
I don't know.
I don't know. He was arrested. I saw he quoted the tweet. He was like, hey guys, I've been arrested.
Imagine you're the officer in charge of station that day. Alafu majangili wanaletwa tu pale. Hey, wait.
Simama kando, but it's clear. Madness. Wait, Taf, you want to say something?
Now he's in prison kissing us, but
No.
Editor
Kuna mtu atacrop hiyo part ukifanya mwa.
Oh, no, Sabato, this is for you. This is
Niliwaambia ule mangesade. Oh my God.
shout out to Sabato, honestly. You love to hate him, you hate to love him. But hey, it's been
Usichanganye na
amazing.
Kizungu.
Ati what?
Nilikuwa hapo napiga hesabu love to hate him.
They hate to love him. There you go. Anything you guys want to add, Saddam? You're good? Mwass?
I'm easy.
Anyway, episode 275, we are...
Over 26. This is
This is the Brunch Club. Over 26.
Welcome back to
The mics are closed.
Now, when you watch it, you'll understand.